man, friends and neighbors, or shall I say this afternoon?
All right, so we had a little bit of a recording malfunction as I missed the first few innings. I'll just give a quick recap. O'Neal Cruz started off the ball game with a triple. Hayes hit a ground ball that scored him on a fielder's choice, and other than that, hasn't really been a whole lot of action. So sit tight, and we'll jump right into the action. Now 1-2 to Reynolds. Runner in scoring position. A hit here would be huge to get that run on a two-out rally. He chases one off the plate away. It's handled on the backhand at third, and he sends it across the diamond to get him. And that will end the inning, as we'll go now to the top of the fourth. Still 1-0 Pirates here in Pittsburgh. Here we go. It was up, but it was away, and he was swung through it because he was out in front, and that's why we go to the off-speed in that situation. Fell behind Freeman 2-0 last time, if I'm not mistaken. Let's come inside here. Nope, left it over the plate, but gets a ground ball to Cruz, and that's going to be the second out. He was late, but I think he's probably now expecting a fastball on 3-2. We're going to throw a curve. Yes, sir. He could not hold up. It bounces in the dirt, so Rodriguez has to send it down to first, and he does so to end the inning, and that's a good inning for Milton. We're going to the bottom of the fourth. He's going to lead things off here. 4, 5, 6 due up, with the Pirates still with that slim one-run lead. Syndergaard at 52 pitches, and that's about the neighborhood where Milton is after already having pitched the fourth inning. So a little bit of contrast there in the pitch efficiency so far between these two pitchers. And Syndergaard's not necessarily a guy known for going real deep into games, at least in this part of his career. So we would expect that there will be some activity in the Dodgers bullpen probably next inning, and he maybe gives them 5 or 6 before they have to turn to another arm. Good eye there from Milton. Now 2-2. We're taking away the back foot slider here and then looking for the sinker pretty much. And the pitch is down and away. He swings and misses. Didn't stay back on that one as much as I should have, considering the location. That's a pitch that you have to be trying to take the other way, and he was early. So if that was something off speed, he would have been way out in front of it. Now 1-2 to G-Man Choi here as Sawinski takes his lead at first. Wind up in the pitch. Is hit hard, but right at Lux at short. That's going to be a 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. And after 4, it's 1-0 here in Pittsburgh. Good eye by Lux to lay off, Thompson rather, to lay off of that one. Then he gets a two-seam that's up, and he takes that one in the gap in right center field. Not in the right location on that pitch either from Milton, as he wanted it down and in. Didn't get it in enough, and didn't get it down enough, and that's a leadoff double for Thompson. So good opportunity here for the Dodgers. They've got the leadoff man on and into scoring position with nobody out here in the fifth. So if you're ahead of a fastball that's up and away, you're going to get a curve. He got the corner on the outside, on the curve on the outside corner there. Rings him up, and that's a big strike 3. As you see the location there, just licking the edge, and the umpire rings him up. So 1 away now for J.D. Martinez. And it's now even 2 apiece. Goes to the fastball in and blew it by him. 2 strikeouts in a row after the leadoff double, and he's an out away from stranding the runner here as Max Muncy struck out in his first appearance. Going to have to put something in play here to give the Dodgers a chance to tie this thing up. Oh, that's big, as it's now 2-1. It's going to go back to a 4-seam, and that's into left field. Sawinski has to hold up and kind of play it on the hop. The throw to the plate is in time to get him. So Sawinski with the dart to the dish to get Trace Thompson and end the inning. As you see there, he kind of had to hesitate to get it on the longer hop there, but it pays off as he's able to throw an absolute strike, and the tag just in time to get him. We're halfway home here, going to the bottom of the fifth. It's 1-0 Pirates. Fouls that slider away. He was out in front of that. Now the count 2-2, and the pitch from Syndergaard is another slider. He Gets to it, though, and rips it into right field, and it's down just before Betts can get there for a one-out single. Potential hit-and-run situation here now, especially that the count runs to 2-1. Would not be surprised to see them put Marcano in motion here. He was leaning, though, and they got him for the second out of the inning. As that was close, him diving back in there, but they kind of caught him between steps as he was leading off. That looked like he beat the throw back, but unfortunately, MLB The Show does not give me the opportunity to challenge. But nonetheless, now it's 2-1 to Andy Rodriguez, and the pitch is ripped down the right field line and into the corner. Unfortunately for the Pirates, not being able to challenge on the previous call is now really costly, as we probably would have had the runner in motion there, and that would have scored him to make it 2-0, but instead it's a two-out double for Rodriguez, and that brings to the plate O'Neal Cruz. Good job battling here by Cruz as he fouls off another one, and looking for that base hit to bring in the two-out run here, but that's going to be handled at second with, oh no, he tries to barehand it, muffs it, and that is huge. Interesting decision there to try and barehand that, because it looked like he had plenty of time, and even more interesting decision to call that a base hit. So probably frustration on Syndergaard's part as he's at 85 pitches and this inning is continuing, and now a base hit up the middle. That is a backbreaker for the Dodgers. Milton pitching really well, and now you get that insurance run here in the fifth as the two-out rally ends up plating a run here on the RBI single from Ke'Bryan Hayes. So a fastball in for strike one. The count now 3-1 to Reynolds. Pirates perhaps not done yet here in the inning with two away. That ball is hammered to deep right field. Going back is Betts. Over the shoulder try, but he can't get to it, and it goes off of the wall. Reynolds is going to come all the way around for a two-run, two-out triple, and the inning is just getting away from them here. As again, that play at second where he tries to barehand it is just proving an absolute disaster, and Davey Roberts has to go to the bullpen now. Syndergaard was up there in the 90s for his pitch count, and that's going to do it for his day. Unfortunate for him that the defense kind of let him down. Really, it was just that one play, but he's going to the showers, and the Dodgers are going to have to turn to a right-hander out of the bullpen here. It's going to be Phil Bickford coming on, as you see his numbers so far this season, a 5.06 ERA across 5 1/3. Has struggled against righties, which is a little bit interesting, but has handled lefties very well. And that's what he's going to face here as Evan Milton steps in with 2 down in the inning. He's 0 for 2, struck out in his last plate appearance. Probably ought to take a look at what Bickford throws. He's got a 4-seam at 94, a 93-mile-an-hour 2-seamer, and then a slider at 83. So behind in the count, we're just going to take away the back foot slider. Otherwise, we're sitting dead red. So I like the pitch mix. We ought to be able to hit a guy like this pretty well, but behind in the count 0-1 is not ideal. Goes up and fouls that one off as he was out in front of the 2-seam. So timing a little bit off for Milton so far in today's ball game, and now he's behind 0-2. And better swing on that one, but that's going to probably be caught in center field as it hangs up. And yes, that's J.D. Martinez playing center field today for the Dodgers. A little bit interesting. The Pirates get 3, and after 5 innings, it is 4-0 here from Pittsburgh. We're going to stay in there. If you locate it well, you're going to get him, and there it is. He jammed him. Marcano, a tough play here, but he is going to track that one down, and that's the first out. He singled, and then did he steal second and get caught? I think that's what it was. And anyway, there's a ground ball to second. Easy play for Marcano. A little bit of a high throw, but they get him for the second out of the inning. And Milton's at 82 pitches, so this could be the end of the road for him. You've got to feel pretty good with a 4-run lead, and knowing that you're just doing the 4-man rotation, you want to make sure and keep your arms as fresh as possible for each subsequent start. Now he gets ahead of Peralta here. He was early on a 2-seam. So try the changeup, and he was nowhere close to it. Great job by Milton. He has been very sharp in this one, and the Pirates lead 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Just 3 hits allowed for the righty, and racking up some strikeouts in the process. All right, so Milton's going to come out of the game now, so we're going to simulate the rest of this one, or quick manage it, rather. Sawinski to lead things off, and he gets a base hit. We're going to go hit and run here and get aggressive. At least he advanced him. Mitchell 0 for 3. Continues to struggle. And now for the bullpen situation here, let's go with Chase DeYoung here in the 7th. Come on, don't even start with this. Now we need, this is big. We're going to go to Beeks. He's my most, reliable lefty for the most part. There we go. That's a big out. So still 4-1. That's a good start there. Hey, there we go. Now we're in business. Let's go ahead and make some substitutions now. Up by 5. These guys have already batted. They're in the last inning, so let's get them out and try and keep them fresh. We'll have McCutcheon and then Jason DeLay. And I'm going to get Cal Mitchell out of there. Heck, let's get Choi out of there while we're at it. So everybody going to change it up. We'll leave Beeks in here in the 8th. Uh-oh. This is big. We need... I need 5 outs. Bednar is already, out of gas. This is not good. Bases loaded. That's huge. Double play to end the inning and keep it a 5-run game. And now we pretty much ran away with it. Let's let Underwood just finish it. We'll get a save out of this, right? Should. Yep. Gets the save. We end up giving up just 6 hits, 3 walks, 13 strikeouts. Home run for O'Neal Cruz. That was a big one. Stolen base for Hayes. Milton was 0 for at the plate, wasn't he? Yeah, 0 for 4 with a strikeout. But he pitched his best game of his career probably so far. Moves to 4-0, just 3 hits across 6 innings, and he struck out 10. And then the bullpen was okay. We only gave up, 1 run across 3 innings. But it was a little bit dicey there for a minute. But that's 2 wins in a row against the Dodgers to start the series. We got a chance to sweep them. Well, we lost and we got shut out. This was just not a good day offensively, obviously. Just 3 hits. Kershaw going 8 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. And 3 errors they gave us, and we still couldn't even put up a run. So just not a good effort offensively. The pitching was okay. We'll look at the lines here in a minute, but Milton goes 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. His average now down to 326. Jason DeLay hitting just 121. Obviously not getting it done there. Contreras, just 6 hits in 5 1/3, but 5 walks. He really labored for those, 5 1/3, but ground out, a decent start for us. And then Perdomo came in and was doing really well, but we just pushed him too far. And he ended up giving up those 2 runs late in the game before we got DeYoung to come in and just clean it up there in the 9th. But we took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, and I'm okay with that. And now it's up to Mitch Keller against the Nationals here, team that not very good. They are 8-16 so far, and he's had a couple of good starts in a row, so we'll see if he can keep it going. Well, this was a mess of a game. 14 innings, we win 14-12. And it was just a pitching nightmare. Milton goes 2 for 6 with 3 runs, 4 RBIs, a couple of walks. We end up with 17 hits, 9 walks, and only struck out 6 times in 14 innings. Homers for Milton, Santana, and Mitchell, who was 1 for 6, but 3 RBIs, and he's struggling with the average, but coming up with big hits for us at least. Now, look at the pitching. Mitch Keller, 5 hits and a walk over 5 innings isn't that bad, but he leaves a couple of guys on as he exits after 5+ innings. He gives up a couple of hits to start the inning, and Dwayne Underwood comes in and gives up a 2-run homer, or a 3-run homer right off the bat. Boom, game tied. Or no, I guess it was a 2-run homer. But either way, Keller actually pitched okay. Those numbers are misleading relative to how actually he performed. So then Chase DeYoung gets a hold. Garcia comes in, gives up 3 runs, and blows another lead. Then Oviedo comes in and gets us into extras or whatever, and we score 2 runs in the top of the 10th. So I bring in David Bednar, and sure enough, he blows another lead. So then I'm out of pitchers at this point. Like, everybody is either tired and needs more rest, or I already used them. Because I used Oviedo for just an inning and a third, and he's usually my long relief guy, but I had to go to Bednar to try and get the save. So then I go to Vince Velasquez, and it took 4 innings, but eventually we got the win. It was a 3-run homer by Santana that opened it up for us. And so it's a 14-12 victory, but another one that was extremely frustrating because guys just not getting it done out of our bullpen. All right, and we actually bounce back in this one and get a nice pitching performance for a 4-0 shutout victory. So obviously a lot of contrast between the last game and this one. We gave Reynolds the day off. Jijuan Bagos 1 for 3, and then McCutchen came off the bench for a big 2-run pinch hit home run. Milton goes 1 for 2 with 3 walks on the day. They pitched around him quite a bit. We end up with 8 hits, 8 walks, struck out 12 times. McCutchen had the only home run. We had a couple of errors, a couple of stolen bases. Brubaker was awesome. He's been pitching pretty well for the most part. 7 innings, 3 hits, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. Underwood gets the hold. And then it was a 4-0 game, so we left Bednar get some rest because I don't even know if I would have won if I would have left him in to pitch. And Velasquez strikes out 2 in a perfect 9th. I think we need to do some scouting here. Yeah. So let's look and see what's going on that front. Daryl Justice, that both the potential and the overall dropped to where he's probably now, if I had to guess, like a mid to high B potential and a mid 60s overall. Even though he's 19 and has room for improvement, I don't know that that's worth the number 1 pick in the draft. So we need to get another position player, fully scouted here that we think could be a top, draft pick for us. Freitas is 21 years old, so he could be fairly well polished, and I like that the potential sits from low B to 99, whereas this guy, it's a little bit lower range on the potential. He's also 21, but there's higher upside from the looks of things as far as his overall. I think the bottom line is I'm going to need to scout both of these guys and hope that one of them's worth a first pick in the draft. And now let's look at first baseman in the East and see what we're looking at. Yeah, he's trending the wrong direction. He's trending the wrong direction. He's trending the right direction, but that's so deep in the draft that I don't even think I want to waste another turn scouting him. Let's pick a different territory for first baseman to scout. Castilla's got some really good... I like where he sits as far as his ranking. So let's go ahead and just change this to international. Confirm, and now let's go look at our pitching prospects. And we're looking at international now, and we're only about halfway scouted on some of those, a little higher on a few for whatever reason, but let's go ahead and just let that ride. In fact, we're at 100% on some, but still as low as 50% on this guy. Let's actually look at this a little closer. So 50%, but I'm probably not drafting this guy, so I'm okay with that. Probably not drafting him. Probably not going to be drafting him because he's going to be gone before my second round pick. That one is a long shot. I think we need to keep going here. We just got too many sitting around 50%. We're going to let that go. So I think the plan is going to just stay like that. And now we are due for another game against the Nationals here, where we are looking for a sweep. And it's the last game of the month here. It's the 30th of April. And Milton's got a chance to improve to 5-0 in the first month of the season. So he's been really good. He's swinging the bat well for us as well. So sit tight, and we will be heading out to Washington to take on the Nationals. And here we are at Pittsburgh's PNC Park. It's going to actually, no, we're in Washington for this one. And it's the Pirates coming to town to take on the Nationals as they've won the first two games in the series. They've been a little bit of a contrast in the outcome of those two games as far as the total runs in each of those. As we take a look here, and the Pirates winning 14-12 in a serious barn burner there, and then they shut them out in game 2, winning 4-0. And now today, it's going to be Evan Milton on the hill for the Pirates, and Mackenzie Gore getting the start for the Nationals. He's got a 2.46 whip through 20 1/3 innings, and the number that stands out there is 16 walks across that stretch. He's 0-4 in 5 starts with an ERA pushing 8.5. Mackenzie with a pretty standard 4-pitch mix with fastball, curveball, changeup, and slider, and he's got 0-2 to Ke'Bryan Hayes, and that's a 3-pitch strikeout and a good start for the lefty as he pulls the string there. Nice pitch there, just off the corner, down and away. Had him just out in front of it, and he can't make contact, and that's one away. Missed low with the curve there. Now the count 2-1 to Reynolds. Big lead for Cruz at first, and he is off and running and has a pretty good jump. Reynolds takes, and that's called strike 2, but his stolen base there for O'Neal Cruz. He's into scoring position with his 4th stolen base of the year. And look here, he was off with a pretty good jump there, and a top-end speed for Cruz is among the fastest in all of baseball. So now 2-2 to Brian Reynolds, and a runner in scoring position. And he's out in front of the slider there, swings through it for the second strikeout of the inning for Gore. Now 2 down, and Evan Milton will step in here. The timing actually looked pretty good for Reynolds there, but unable to make contact. He's down on strikes, and now it's going to be up to Evan Milton with 2 away here. He can help himself out, give the Pirates the early lead if he can manage to find some outfield grass here. Fastball on the inside corner is good for strike 1. And then he hangs a curve. This ball is lifted deep to left field, but I think he missed it, and he did. So he had a hanger there. Got a pretty good swing on it, but just missed it, and that'll do it for the Pirates. We go to the bottom of the first, and we are scoreless. We'll get a look at the numbers for Evan Milton, making his 8th start of the season. He's 4-0, a 1.8 ERA. That whip now below 1 on the season as he's got just 4 walks allowed through 45 innings and 49 strikeouts. So a better than 12-1 strikeout to walk ratio has got to be among the best in all of Major League Baseball. And Victor Robles will start things off. He watches a pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. Spits on that one, and the count now even at 2 apiece. 2-2 pitch is in there for a fastball, blew it by him as Robles having a rough season so far. The average down there at just 135 prior to that bat, and it's going to dip even lower than that now. So now 2-2 to Garcia. The windup in the pitch from Milton is past him. Another strikeout. Blew him away with the fastball. That's a couple in a row where he got him swinging. Fastballs up and in. It's taken him 11 pitches so far, but he's racked up a couple of strikeouts. Now it's Joey Meneses. So a 15-game hitting streak for Meneses to this point, as he is going to swing and a miss at a strike 3 pitch there. The slider down and away got him. He could not lay off, and Evan Milton strikes out the side in order, and we're scoreless after 1.
1 strike.
Pretty good speed at first in McCutcheon, and a 2-1 pitch here to Santana. We'll see if the Pirates, yes, they're going to put him in motion. He got a good jump and is into second with another stolen base for the Pirates. It's going to be 2-2, as that was called a strike. First stolen base of the year for McCutcheon. Another look there, pretty good jump, and he's in safe. The 2-0 fastball in for a strike. The count now 2-1, and Castro just looking for something to get that run home from third. He hits this one to the right side, has a chance to get through. It's knocked down on the diving try. They aren't going to get him. McCutcheon in to score. It's an infield single for Castro and an RBI, as he's going to get that average up over the Mendoza line with that one. Another look here. It's a pitch down and away. Good piece of hitting to take it the other way, and tough try, or a nice try there at second, but just unable to get him. And the Pirates lead 1-0. There's a fastball in for strike 2. So Connor Joe hitting .317 so far this season, swinging the bat pretty well, but chases one out of the zone there. A late decision to swing, and that's an ugly at bat for the Pirates right-hander, as Mackenzie Gore picks up another strikeout. The Pirates backstop struggling with the bat so far this season, and now finds himself in a hole 0-2 here. And that one is hit softly back up the middle. Gore fields and gets him at first to end the inning. So it's the Pirates 1, the Nationals nothing, as we head to the bottom of the second. So that one finds the seats, as he was late on that fastball. The 2-2 pitch now is way up out of the zone, but he went around, and that's 4 strikeouts in a row to start this game for Evan Milton. Now Corey Dickerson on a 1-1 pitch here. He has been swinging the bat well for the Nationals so far this year, and that one is in for extra bases as Connor Joe gets to it, but Dickerson, the former Pirate, in with a 1-out double. First base hit of the ball game for the Nationals. Ahead of the changeup there, gets a piece, fouls it off, and now the count 0-2 to Ruiz, and he swings and misses that one. Looked ugly, and that is now 5 strikeouts for Evan Milton. Missed high with the fastball there. That's 3 straight fastballs, but the count 1-2 to Candelario, and that one is hit softly to the left side. Hayes fields, throws, and gets him to end the inning. So a good inning of work there. Just 1 hit allowed. They strand the runner in scoring position, and the Pirates lead 1-0 as we head to the third, and it'll be top of the order due up for the Buccos. So Hayes already struck out to start off the ball game on 3 pitches, and now finds himself behind in the count 0-2. And that one jammed him, but is going to get into left field on an excuse me single there. Not a very good swing, but he gets the job done, as you just put it in play, and some things can go your way. So a good start there for the Pirates. Cruz late on the changeup there, and the count quickly 0-2. And he is down on strikes. He swings through that one, as he has struggled with strikeouts so far this season. He is 3rd in the National League in that category, and that's one where you don't want to find yourself on the top of that list. The 2-0 fastball is in there for strike, so the count now 2-1. Hayes takes his lead. There he goes. He's got a pretty good jump there and is in for another stolen base for the Pirates. They have been aggressive on the bases, each time stealing on 2-1. And each time it was a called strike that the hitter let go, because when the runner gets a jump like that, a lot of times it's a good idea to just go ahead and let them swipe the bag. And now Reynolds lifts one into left field that is going to hang up and be caught for the 2nd out of the inning. It's going to be up to to Evan Milton here with 2 down. As for the 2nd time in a row that he has come to the plate, he's got an RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Hayes leads from second. Gore from the stretch. The pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1. See there the overlay telling you that Evan Milton's got the best WAR in the National League. And that's not going to get it done. Chase the fastball up out of the zone, and Candelario is under it to grab that one for the actually, no, that's Joey Meneses making the play there for the final out of the inning. We go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0. 8-9-1 due up for the home squad. Fastball missed low there, gets away from Jason DeLay. It's kind of interesting. And that one's hit kind of softly there. Soft liner that short hops Santana at first. He grabs that, steps on the bag, and that's the first out. Fights off the slider there to stay alive, 1-2, and now the fastball up is lifted into left field. Connor Joe a long run, but plenty of time to get to that one, and that's the second out. So back-to-back sliders from Milton, and that one fouled away as the count runs to 0-2. He goes fastball up and in, checked his swing but went around. He's down on strikes for the second time. Another good inning for Milton as he has faced 10 hitters. Racking up some strikeouts, just one hit allowed, and the Pirates lead 1-0 as we head to the fourth. Fastball missing just high there, runs the count even at 1 apiece. It's Connor Joe looking to try and maybe find a gap here and extend this lead for the Pirates. That ball hit well and has a chance to get down and left, and it will. So that's a couple of singles now in the inning for the Pirates, and that will turn the order over at least, as it's going to be Jason DeLay now batting with 2 down here in the inning and a couple of runners on. Just got a piece of that changeup, fouled it back, and the count now 1-2 to Jason DeLay. Pulls this one down the third base line. Candelario grabs it, steps on the bag, and that's it for the Pirates. They strand a couple. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and it's 1-0. So he was late on the fastball there, fouled it off, the count going to 1-2. Now Milton up and in with a fastball, got him again. Tried to check the swing, just could not hold up, and he is down on strike. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Again, that fastball up and in, just giving these Nationals hitters all kinds of fits. And now he's going to go curve down and away, soft ground ball to the right side. Castro over to get it. Flips to Santana covering, and that's the second out of the inning. Fastball in there for strike 2, then the count runs full to Alex Gall. The payoff pitch is grounded to short. Cruz has it. This should do it for the Nationals in their half of the fourth. It is 4 scoreless innings for Evan Milton as he has been sharp in this one, but it's a low-scoring affair as it's just 1-0 as we head to the top of the fifth. And again, top of the order due up for the Pirates. Gore has done a respectable job avoiding the walks so far in this ball game. And that one hit hard down the third base line and gets past the sliding try from Candelario. The 1-1 slider got too much of the plate. Hayes able to take advantage, and he's got himself a base hit, and the Pirates have something brewing here to start the fifth. Cruz struck out his last time up. This time going to take things into his own hands and be a little bit more aggressive early in the count as he rips a fastball into left field. Back-to-back singles now for the Pirates, and it's going to be the heart of the order coming up. So Brian Reynolds, Evan Milton, and Andrew McCutcheon in the hopper here for the Pirates as they look to expand on this lead. Boy, he had a curve to hit there, but could not stay back and pulled it foul, and the count now runs full to 3-2. The pitch is another curve, and he could not stay back, just didn't pick that one up. It's a swing and a miss for a big strikeout there by Mackenzie Gore. Fell behind in the count 3-0, and then battles back, just barely getting the call on the 3-0 pitch with a fastball at the belt, and then back-to-back curves. He gets Reynolds swinging, and now it's Evan Milton, another RBI opportunity here with one away. Runners on first and second as he watches that one miss down and in for ball 1. Big situation here, a ball in the gap could break this thing open. The way Milton was pitching, 1 run could be enough. 3 runs could be pretty much unsurmountable unless they can get to the bullpen or start finding a way to get to Evan Milton. That ball hit hard, but right at him and left. Tough break there for the DH, as that's going to be the second out. And now it's up to Andrew McCutcheon with 2 away. Changeup in for strike 1. Very hittable pitch there, but McCutcheon couldn't pull the trigger. This time he's out in front of a fastball. Candelario fields, throws across the diamond to get him, and the Pirates strand a couple as they had first and second, nobody out, 3, 4, 5 hitters due up, and they are unable to do anything with it, as that's now 5 innings where they've got 7 hits, a couple of walks, and just 1 run to show for it. So Mackenzie Gore doing a pretty good job of scattering some base runners so far in this one. And it's Corey Dickerson to lead things off for the Nationals in their half of the 5th. Sensational effort from McCutchen there, but unable to make the catch in foul territory, and the at-bat continues for Corey Dickerson. And he's way out in front of the changeup there, down on strikes. He made Milton work for it, fouling off a few pitches with 2 strikes. But, man, Evan Milton's just racking up Ks right now. He's thrown 60 pitches through 4 1/3. Just 1 hit allowed and a slew full of Ks. The first pitch in there for strike 1 to Ruiz, and now the windup and the pitch here with the 0-1 count is chopped up the middle. Cruz able to get to it, sends it over to Santana, and that's the second out of the inning. Probably be a little bit careful here, as you'd rather walk him than give up a 2-out homer. Nice pitch there on the corner as Candelario thought he had ball 4. He is mistaken. The count runs full. Now 3-2 here, and the windup and the pitch. And Milton goes to a backdoor curve, but just missed low for ball 4. I don't know if that was a take more than it was Candelario just having given up on that pitch and was at the mercy of the home plate umpire. But he draws a walk with 2 away. Pitch number 70 on the way here from Milton on the 0-1 count is a changeup hit hard, but right at Hayes. Knocks it down, recovers, throws across the diamond to get him. And that's it for the Nationals. They got a walk, but they strand that runner as well. Just 1 hit allowed by Milton through 5 innings of work. But still a tight one here as it's 1-0 as we head to the 6th. Mackenzie Gore gets a couple of quick outs and now a couple of quick strikes to Connor Joe as the count is 0-2. That ball hammered, but right at the left fielder, as that's going to do it for the Pirates. These set down in order. That's the first pretty stress-free inning that Mackenzie Gore has had. It's going to be 9-1-2 for the Nationals coming up in the bottom of the 6th. They need to get something going, though, as Evan Milton has really been in control up to this point. Now the 1-1 pitch to Lane Thomas is a hanger taken back up the middle. Chuck and duck there for Evan Milton, and it's into center field for a leadoff single. That's a mistaken location. Thomas runs really well, so this is a great opportunity for the Nationals. You get your 9-hitter on. He's got outstanding speed as we get a look at the numbers so far in this one for Milton. 5+ innings, 2 hits, a walk, 8 strikeouts, and he's only at 73 pitches, so they should be able to get a little bit more length out of him than what we've seen already. Victor Robles steps in, handles the bat pretty well. Wouldn't be surprised to see a sacrifice here, and he does square around, gets it down, and they're going to have to probably just take the out at first here. So the sacrifice is successful. Runner into scoring position now, 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th. Can't really fault the Nationals for just trying to play for a run here, but now the count 0-2 to Luis Garcia. And he gets the call on a changeup up and away. Looked like it was off the plate. Garcia with a few words for the home plate umpire, as that pitch was nowhere near as low as what DeLay wanted it. And you see there, perhaps just off that outside corner, but he gives him the call, and that is big. It's now 2 down for Joey Meneses, and it's going to take a base hit to get that tying run in from second. And that ball just fouled down the third base line. Back-to-back sliders down and away, and Milton ahead in the count now, 0-2. And he goes to the fastball up and in, and yet again, that pitch is going to get the job done as 6 scoreless innings are in the books for Evan Milton. He has been outstanding, and the Pirates lead 1-0, 9-1-2 due up in the top of the 7th. So 2 up, 2 down so far for Espino. And it's up to O'Neal Cruz here with 2 away, nobody on. And that one is sliced down the left field line. It stays fair. That ball's going to get into the corner, and Cruz is going to have extra bases as it's a 2-out double. And yet again, another opportunity for the Pirates, but they're going to need somebody to come through with a 2-out RBI knock, and this time it's going to be Brian Reynolds who has that opportunity. Not sure if that was a called strike or they got him on the check swing, but the count now 2-2. And he swings through a slider as he just slowed the speed down enough there where Reynolds just had no chance. 75-mile-an-hour slider, and he was way out in front of that thing, down on strikes. We go to the stretch. The Pirates lead 1-0, but they are going to continue to need some excellent pitching from Evan Milton, as Endy Rodriguez is going to stay in the game and do the catching the rest of the way out. Now 1-2 to Alex Call, and the windup in the pitch is called strike 3 as he's down looking at that one for the first out of the inning. And there's that fastball up and in again. But these national hitters, it's just like they aren't even picking it up. Unbelievable. I mean, he did not even flinch at that pitch. Changeup off the plate away there as he lays off of that one for ball 1. Now the 1-2 pitch is ripped up the middle. That ball has a chance to get into the gap. Reynolds able to cut it off. And Dickerson is going to hold at first with a 1-out single. So pretty good job there by Reynolds to make sure that one doesn't get all the way to the gap. But a runner on with one away here in the top of the 7th. Still no action in the bullpen for the Pirates. Now the 0-2 to Ruiz. Change up, swing and a miss. He got him. Another strikeout for Milton. Now 2 down here in the 7th. And he's 1 out away from 7 scoreless innings here in Washington. Candelario watches the changeup miss off the plate, down and away. Now the 1-2 pitch. There it is again. Fastball up and in. Got him looking. Another strikeout for Milton. What an outing for the righty, as he has pitched 7 scoreless innings here in Washington. It is 1-0 as we head to the 8th. The Pirates trying to hang on. It'll be Milton to lead off here in the top of the 8th. They've got a lefty getting loose in the bullpen. Looks like Jalen Beeks out there. As Espino going back to work here in the 8th. Doesn't throw real hard. So you got to think, stay back and use the middle of the field, looking for some of that off-speed stuff. As there's a changeup in for strike 1. And now I think we try and maybe take away the curve and then be sitting fastball. Well, he went to the curve. It was a hanger, but I still just could not stay back. 71 miles an hour on that pitch is just really hard to wait for it to get into the zone. And there he gets him with a slider. So 76 miles an hour, it just doesn't matter. If you're thinking it's any kind of fastball, that pitch is just hard to stay back on. All right, so we've gone to quick manage, and I actually finished up the top of the 8th before realizing that I wasn't recording anymore. So here we go. We have gone to Jalen Beeks out of the bullpen. Vargas does not hit lefties very well, and naturally he gives up a base hit anyway. And now Thomas has really good speed. We got to try and keep him close. Come on. I can't leave him out there when you got a couple of righties coming up. Underwood is tired. I think I'm going to go to Bednar and try and get a 4-out save. This is probably stupid. All right, you got the big one there. Let's let Castro hit. But let's go to Sawinski here. No. All right, come on, Bednar. All right, how about a 1-0 win? Win number 5 of the month for Evan Milton. Another very strong start. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. That was a heck of a day for him on the mound. Now, he wasn't quite as sharp at the plate as he was 0 for 4 with a strikeout. Brian Reynolds 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts in this one, as he has cooled off considerably since the beginning of the season. A couple of hits for Cabrian Hayes, and he needed them as he was really in a little bit of a rut. Not a whole lot else to say about this one. We just never really could get a whole lot going. Well, we could. We just couldn't finish. We just didn't come up with the big hits when we needed them. But pretty good job by the bullpen to, really by Bednar to wrap this one up for us and secure the win. So really happy with how that one turned out. Let's get back now and quick manage a few of the upcoming games. And you'll notice, I guess I should have mentioned this, that I did sort of change the presentation style for Game 2 of this episode. And that's pretty much how I plan to do it from here on out, where we are going to, instead of showing you the entire at-bat every time I'm pitching, we will just show you the key moments of those at-bats. We'll give you the result play of every at-bat, and here and there maybe also pepper in, like long balls that curve foul that would have been a home run, bad calls by the umpire, sort of stuff. But anyway, that will shorten the episodes a little bit to the point where I think I now will be able to get 3 games per episode in, and that's big because that means we can burn through more seasons, which is kind of the objective here. We're 8-2 over our last 10, and now 4 games up in the division, which is awesome. Now, we've gone through a month, and so what I need to do is go in here. Heineman was bad. Mojica was awesome. 300 over 40 at bats. Triolo raked. He just got called up in real life. Kyle Nicolas was also very good at AA, and Moretta was pretty good at AAA. We're not going to do a whole lot in terms of any kinds of edits, but what I do want to actually look at is for Milton, yeah, Ks per 9 are up, homers per 9 are up, and then no changes on his offensive ratings, which is, good, or his fielding ratings. So I don't need to worry about anything there. What I really want to be watching with him is like his contact and power ratings, and then things like maybe his base stealing. A lot of times with creative players, there's a tendency for those to all of a sudden dip. And now, as you can see, he is officially a two-way player. So he's gotten enough innings in the field, or I guess as DH, to where he now qualifies there. So what that means is I can actually come in, go to his general page here, and give him secondary positions. And we're going to go outfield / first base. I will rarely have him in the field, but I will show you scenarios where that can happen. Like if we look at the calendar, let's say he pitches this game, which let's see, 1, 2, 3. He's going to pitch this one. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to pitch this one. So in this game right here, he would DH. Then he's getting a day off. And then these 2 games, he's going to either, be DH or play the field kind of thing, and then have to be ready for this game right here. With this extra day off, no, that won't work. So he's pitching here, and then he's pitching here. This is a perfect scenario. He gets this day off. I can have him play the field in this game right here because he won't be super tired after, and then he gets DH, a whole another day off here, another day where he can DH, and then he gets this start. So this, like one of these 2 games right here, I could have him in the field instead of just DHing. And I actually would probably do it for this one because I won't need him to play in order to give somebody rest in this game because we have this day off right here. Hopefully that makes sense. Like I said, it's not going to happen very often, but what it'll do is give him statistically an advantage for Cy Young because he will be getting putouts and assists in situations where he'll be racking those stats up way faster than other starting pitchers. So there you go. All right, we are due for a couple of quick manage games, as it's Contreras on the road against Eflin and the Rays. So sit tight, and we'll show you the results from this one. All right, we got the win by the final of 6-4. It was closer than the game really felt like it should have been. We scored 5 runs in the first, and then another one in the third to go up 6-0. Contreras was cruising, so we kind of started taking out some of our starters. Well, we'll just kind of talk through some of the statistics here. Evan Milton, 3 for 5. Pretty good day for him. Cal Mitchell, 1 hit, 3 RBIs. So he continues to come up with big hits, but the hits are few and far between. Very interesting season he is having so far. We did have a couple of errors, and one of them contributed in the runs column as Contreras goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 walks, 3 runs, but only 2 of them earned. Velasquez came in, and I was kind of hoping I could just use him to finish out the ball game, but he got into trouble in the 8th. Brought in DeYoung to get an out and get me out of that one. And then Bednar comes in and does his usual 1 inning of work, give up a couple of hits, and allow a run. But he does get the save. Bottom line is if I can just kind of survive for a little while with him at closer, I think he's going to be okay. But holy moly, has he just been a train wreck so far. So we're 30 games in. We are 18-12. And we are playing really good baseball these last couple of weeks. As you look, it started really, I guess kind of here against Cincinnati, where we took 3 out of 4, then 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, swept the Nationals, and now a win on the road against Tampa as we get ready to head back out for Game 2 of the series, as it's Mitch Keller against Shane McClanahan. And we lose this one 5-3, but it could have easily been a whole lot worse. We only had 7 hits, 1 walk, and we struck out 12 times. Milton goes 0 for 3, drew a walk, and he was caught stealing again. I don't know what's going on there. We got homers from Cruz and Reynolds, but that's pretty much all of the highlights offensively. And then on the mound, Mitch Keller, 3 innings, I guess technically 3+ innings, and gave up 10 hits and a walk, but somehow only 3 runs, and 2 of those were after he exited. Oviedo came in and gave up back-to-back singles in the 4th inning. With runners that Keller had left on and Oviedo inherited. So Oviedo actually did a decent job keeping us in it. Went 4 2/3, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 runs, both were unearned. But we should not have won this game. It would have been a miracle had we been able to pull it off. So we lose 5-3 in that one. And now the rubber match is going to be between Brubaker and Rasmussen, so sit tight. We'll see who can pull this one off. What an absolute mess of a game we have in this one. So 13-12 in 11 innings. We had 4 errors, and they kind of hurt. So we got hits all over the place. Milton goes 2 for 6. A couple of strikeouts. Good day for Hayes going 4 for 6 with 3 RBIs. Homers for Cruz, Santana, and Rodriguez. RBIs all over. 1 error by Velasquez, 2 by Cruz, 2 by Castro. We got stolen bases from Milton and Reynolds. Hayes was caught. And now we get to the pitching. JT Brubaker pitched the first 2 innings like flawlessly. Then the 3rd inning kind of got away from him. He got roughed up. I sent him back out there for the 4th. He gave up a couple of hits. We take him out. Garcia comes in and gives up a home run. And then gets out of the inning, but, damage was done. So, Brubaker wasn't his best, and the line score, paid the price. So I bring in Chase DeYoung. He was outstanding. And if you do the math, at that point, we are now through, 7 innings? 3 2/3? No, 3 2/3, 4 1/3. Yeah, that's through the 7th inning. Then Dwayne Underwood comes in and gives up 3 hits and a run and blows the lead. So now we're tied going into the 9th. I bring in Velasquez, and he pitches the 9th, and then we get the lead in the top of the 10th. So I bring in David Bednar, and what does he do? You guessed it. He gives up the lead, blows the save, and now we bring in Jalen Beeks. And, oh my gosh. So let's look here. Remember, we scored 3 in the top of the 11th. So we bring in Jalen Beeks, and 3 hits later, game over. Now there were 3 hits, but there were also 2 errors in the 9th inning, or in that last inning. So, some of it's not his fault, but he needed another out and he couldn't even get that one. So it just absolute train wreck from my bullpen yet again. And really the pitching throughout was pretty bad, with the exception of DeYoung and Velasquez, who got us into positions where now all we need to do is have 1 inning where we don't suck, and we sucked in every one of those innings where it mattered. So that one is a tough loss right there, as we drop a game in the division too, as the Brewers now 15-16 sit 2.5 back. Let's move on ahead and see what the situation is going to be. It'll be a home game against the Blue Jays. So interleague play, taking on Toronto. They're off to a little bit of a rough start. We're still doing okay, but that is going to do it for this one. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below, and we will see y'all next time.
Good evening, friend and neighbor. Or shall I say this afternoon?